All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you that are not familiar with RepFiles, by the end of this hour, you will be. So if you have RepFiles loaded, please go ahead and get on it. If you don't, we're going to kind of show you how to get set up. But if you've got it, go ahead and jump in. And I'm going to introduce up Jessica DeLuca. She's from RepFiles, and David Quatella from Siemens. So I'm going to be representing the distributor aspect of this. David's going to be representing the manufacturers, and Jessica is with RepFiles. So we'll go ahead and get started.
All right, we're first going to show a little bit of an intro video here.
Download the free RepFiles NAED Edition app to simplify accessing supplier product information that's crucial to your sales staff. This file distribution system gives you access to the most up-to-date documents, images, and videos from all of your suppliers in one spot right on your Apple or Android phone or tablet, or any tablet running Windows 8 or later. Choose to store documents on your device and never be without the latest and most accurate information when you're in front of your customers, even if you don't have internet access.
Manufacturers are coming out with apps that are fantastic. However, when you're asking one of my field associates to have as many as 50 different apps on their iPad at one time, my salespeople aren't going to have time in front of a customer to log in to 15 to 20 to 30 different apps. RepFiles allows them to log into one location. It's a marketing one-stop shop for all the information they need from all their vendors.
Download the free RepFiles NAED Edition app from your App Store. Register, sign in, request access from your suppliers, and once approved, you're ready to go.
The customer specifically asks about some new LED fixtures that we may have available. The sales rep could log into RepFiles and go to our vendor files area and just quickly pull up an LED brochure right in front of the customer and show them the benefits after the conversation before they even leave the customer. They could even email that file directly from the RepFiles app to that customer as a leave behind.
RepFiles is a free tool for users to access content. For delivering files through the RepFiles system to be available on the app, contact RepFiles to take advantage of NAED and NEMRA member pricing.
At least once a week we check it for things that may have expired or different revisions of data sheets or videos that are out there. So if I put a data sheet on there, they just have to sync up and then they've got the most updated content.
RepFiles makes it easy for an organization to prepare field sales personnel with a complete package of material available anytime and anywhere. Get started right away.
Okay, so that gave you a little bit of an overview about what RepFiles is all about. So yesterday after the contractor panel, some people talked about the importance of that in-person relationship, meeting with different customers. So for an industry that extremely values that importance of that one-on-one connection with your customers and uses it as a differentiator between your company and someone else, this device right here, this iPad I have in front of me, and this smartphone are such powerful tools. These are powerful tools for your salespeople. Why? Because this iPad is what your sales team is bringing to customer meetings. They're bringing them into the warehouses. This is what your salespeople are bringing to restaurants with customers, to golf outings with customers, barbecues, the bars. I don't know how many times the sales rep has said, how many times I've used RepFiles with my customer inside of a bar? Or whatever it is. So when an opportunity presents itself, in that moment, what does a salesperson have access to on this device that he can use? Can they easily get to the information they need in the moment they need it? Or is the sales cycle delayed because the sales guy didn't grab the right brochure, so he has to go back to the office? Or maybe he has his mobile device, but he has to go to one manufacturer's website, the other manufacturer's Box account, another manufacturer's Dropbox account, another manufacturer's app, just to get all the information that he needs. Most of us have heard about this trend in the increase in mobile devices, pretty common stuff. NAED's 2014 Technology Benchmark Survey said that 78% of the distributors who participated in the survey used tablets, 84% used smartphones. So for a while, all the marketing talk was focused on the web. I really believe that the focus now should be on mobile, and I think it is, and not maybe probably all of the industries out there. And mobile should be more than just connecting information in a nice layout on a smartphone. Mobile should be focused on connecting the exact information that person needs or wants in the moment they need it with the least amount resistance as possible. So think about that. I don't know about you, but I would be pretty committed to a brand that can give me that. A brand that provides a service that makes my life easier using a platform or device that I want to use. For a while, we've also been hearing about content marketing, and content is king. I believe utility marketing can be thought of a step beyond that. So it provides something of value or a service in the right moment that allows someone to complete a task. At my roundtable discussion yesterday, everyone at the table pretty much liked this one person's analogy. She said, if your sales team is the army, your marketing team is supplying the ammunition. She told us that it was a salesperson, not a marketing person, who said this. So the question is, what tool can you provide your sales team that can help them use this ammunition, have this ammunition, help them use this while they're in front of customers? So that brings me into RepFiles. So RepFiles can be one of these tools that you can supply your sales teams with. It is the sales and marketing content delivery system that allows users to access up-to-date collateral right on their mobile device. So as a distributor, there is no cost for you to start using RepFiles to access your manufacturer's content. You can keep it stored up in the cloud, or you can download it to your device. The benefit of downloading it is you can access it with or without internet connection. Manufacturers as well as distributors that are NAED members can also deliver their content through the system for a discounted annual subscription. So how RepFiles got started. Before I worked at RepFiles, I worked in media relations, and as a PR practitioner, I was always interested in hearing another good story. And I actually love the story of how RepFiles came to be. So it was actually developed by a sales rep who worked at a sales rep agency within the electrical industry. Believe it or not, this sales rep was a very tech-savvy guy. But like you as marketers, he wore many different hats. He wanted to use his newly purchased Android tablet, but he could not stand the idea of gathering all his manufacturer's different product information and putting that on his tablet to make available to go to different customer meetings. He hated going to, like I mentioned before, one manufacturer's website, another's portal, another's app, his email, not being able to access files in a Box account because another rep who's using it deleted it, not being able to access files in Dropbox because his personal allotted storage was taken up by all the manufacturer's content. And by that time, after he gathered all that information, as you probably know, some product sheet out there was out of date. So working together with an app developer, this is what he needed, this list right here that didn't exist. Now some features existed in a number of different apps, but all these features did not exist in just one app. So once the app was developed, he tested it with his company. He was out on a sales call with a current customer at a meeting he thought was going to be about this product. But when he showed up at the meeting, the customer said, you know what? I'm actually interested in this product. So normally a sales guy might say, when I get back to the office, I'll see what I can find and send you more information. But because he was testing out this new app, he was able to pull up a product sheet on his tablet and continue the discussion right away in that moment about that product. Now the awesome ending to that story is with that single meeting, it ended in a $250,000 annual sale for that rep. Now I can't promise you that every single time your sales team uses RepFiles, they'll close the sale. But who knows whether or not that sale would have happened if you didn't have the information with them. Or maybe actually, as marketing people, the better question should be, who knows if that relationship would have been as strong if the sales rep did not appear so resourceful and so prepared. So because of this rep's involvement in the electrical industry and his relationships, RepFiles first partnered with NEMRA, the National Electrical Manufacturers Rep Association, in 2011 to co-brand the RepFiles NEMRA Edition app. So the app, as you can see here, is used for three main purposes. So manufacturers will take their content and they'll deliver it to their sales reps so that they can access it through the app. Sales reps can also, for a discounted annual subscription, deliver their own content to their own employees to also access that content inside the app. And if manufacturers want to allow their own sales managers to access the content, it can be used for that purpose as well. So our approximate number of users is over 2,275 for the NEMRA edition. That number is already incorrect because it's free for anyone to start using the app. So we get new signups every single day, every single hour. The reason why I included Pentair at the bottom is when you search for RepFiles in the App Store, Pentair will pop up. They are a little bit different because they decided that they wanted to be integrated in the RepFile system, but they wanted their own branded app. So basically, Pentair employees will download the Pentair app, access content from there. At the same time, Pentair is delivering content to their reps, and the reps download the NEMRA Edition app to access it there. When you do a search for RepFiles in the App Store, you'll see a couple other different apps as well. So just so you know what they are, RepFiles Black is what we consider our generic edition. So the purpose is it's used by manufacturers, sales reps, and distributors outside of the electrical industry who approach us to start using our service. If a distributor was interested in delivering content to their customers, they can use the RepFiles Black app, or they could use their own branded app. Before we partnered with the NAED, we actually did create a RepFiles Distributor Edition, which now we've kept out there. It's being used by distributors outside of the electrical industry, and we've gotten all our electrical manufacturers to kind of migrate over to the new NAED Edition. So that NAED Edition was published in July of 2014. You could see kind of the purpose behind that app. So manufacturers are delivering content to their distributors. We do actually have some sales reps who are delivering content to their distributors to access inside of that app. As Pam will talk about later, distributors can deliver content to their own employees through the app. And kind of similar to NEMRA, manufacturers can deliver content and have their own sales managers or employees access it there as well. So the approximate number of users, again, this number is already out of date from new people signing up here. It's 1,090 plus. And again, Border States is similar to Pentair in that they decided they wanted their own branded app available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. The cool thing that works a little bit different about Border States than Pentair is that manufacturers can deliver files to all their distributors to access on the NAED edition. At the same time, with a check of a box, they can make that same plugin, we'll talk about that later, but the content also available to Border States on the Border States app. So basically a new manufacturer signs up, I okay it with Border States that they can deliver content, and then boom, it's on their own branded app. So with RepFiles, we'll go through a demo of this a little bit later, but there's 4 key components. On the left-hand side is more of the content management piece. So when a manufacturer signs up with RepFiles, we create their own company's storage location. What gives that plugin manager, as we call them, access to that cloud storage location is a program that we call the RepFiles browser, which we'll show a little bit later, but they would install it on their PCs. That gives them access to the storage location, and they can manage all the files from there. The components you see on the right are more for the user. So a user would download the app, and then they would install what we call a plugin, and that plugin is what targets a folder in their in the manufacturer's cloud storage. At the end of the session, we're going to do a Q&A. But feel free to, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and text them to this number. We'll just see a cell phone number pop up. We won't know who it came from. We won't start sending you text messages or start calling you or anything like that. It's just for this purpose. But at the end, we'll kind of read the questions out loud and answer them ourselves. If it's directed at David, Pam, or myself, just include that in the text, and then we can answer that question for you.